Hello and welcome to Hanamate. In this video I would like to show you how I made these ghosts. They are pretty easy to make, they are a good project for kids as well with a little bit of assistance. And then I advanced to these that are made out of doilies. So it's the same principle, but I use doilies which I think they look adorable. So I gathered my supplies and I started working outside. You can use any kind of wooden blocks. You can use anything you find really, and I use some dowels. By the way, you can use branches. I put the proper drill on my drill, and then I created a center of the wooden block, and I drilled a little hole. I do admit when I did it first time, I used the drill bit was a little bit smaller than the dowel itself, so I had to shave it off a little bit. So that's just something to remember, right? Like if you use proper tools, you're saving yourself lots of time. And then I basically hammer the dowel in the little hole. If you want to, you can use glue and that will be much more longer lasting. Let's put it that way. So by the way, you can have tons of idea with this, and if you are into upcycling, I am sure you will find something else for the base. I was thinking about using old lamps or candle holders. I think if you can get your hands on old-fashioned brass or silver candle holders, you can put the ghosts over it, and you can always take it apart if you want to. So anyhow, this process is pretty simple, right? Then I went inside and I gathered my supplies again, and I added fabric to my stash, different kind of like sheer curtains, muslin fabric, and some ribbons, Mod Podge balls, different balls, drill again, and then I had scissors and felt for the eyes. So here's the first ghost I made. By the way, I did play with different balls just to see how they will work. So this one, the hole was a little smaller, so I carved out a little bit more material. And then I'm attaching fabric to it. It's pretty easy. Depends on the height of your base. But I think anywhere between, I don't know, 16, 18 inches will do. So you can either cut squares, which is easier, or circles. And by the way, don't worry about frayed edges. And then I picked different bows or ribbons rather, and I made bows around the neck of the ghost. So the next step is to create eyes and mouth. There are many different options. I use felt and I cut kind of oval shape for two eyes and bigger one for mouth. And then I added it with Mod Podge. Mod Podge is mix of glue and varnish. It's used for decoupage and basically it worked quite well. However, I will show you another method afterwards. I just found it easy, it's long lasting, and it dries kind of fast. And I know it's transparent, so it doesn't look yucky. So that was one method, and I will show you another one. So the next ghost I am making, I will use a tennis ball. Tennis balls, when they get flat, what do you do with them, right? So I drilled a hole and I attach it as a head. By the way, it does move slightly sideways, right? Because there's just one hole. So if you want to, you can put a dab of glue on it to attach it permanently in the ball. So the ribbon I'm using here is nice and kind of like sheer like curtain, and it's fantastic. It softens it up. And now I got lazy and I'm making eyes and mouth with permanent marker. Um, I think it looks pretty cool. I prefer the felt because it gives it a little bit more structure. However, this is easy and will be much easier for the kids to do, meaning the eyes with permanent marker. So now you see me cutting more fabric. By the way, I like cotton, I like muslin, I like material that actually frays for this project. And you can also create the ribbons from fabric, right? Um, the other thing is that you can play around and you can layer different fabrics, especially if you are working with lace or sheer curtains. And that will kind of add the ruggedy look. Is that word? I guess so. And now I'm doing the eyes again, so that's much easier. So for the next ghost, I am using a ping pong ball. So it's the smallest one and definitely easiest one to drill through. Um, I guess you can call it teenager of a ghost. that was easy, and it's kind of fun that you can use different balls. Also think outside of the box what other uh, things you can use. I was thinking about creating a ball from yarn and using that. That would be easy too. You can also use felt balls from your dryer, whatever. And this is the trick for the ribbon, right? So you cut it on angle, you fold it and cut it on angle. Just think which direction you do it, and then you create nice end to the ribbon. By the way, this is when the upcycling comes handy, because I'm sure you have stash of ribbons you can use for these ghosts. Okay, and this ghost turned out to be my favorite. So I use base of an old lamp and a softball, or the practice softball, and I used lace. I love laces, especially if it's good quality lace, and I see it in the thrift store. I cannot resist, but I never came up with a good purpose, and these ghosts seem to be fantastic for it. It kind of gives them a little bit a country French shabby chic, I don't know, ghostly Victorian look. Anyhow, it looks cool. But because the softball is the glow in dark color it is, I definitely needed to cover it with something, lace, or the doily has got holes in it, right? So on the bottom I used beige fabric, and then I put the doily over it. In this case, the doily was round. I guess most of the time they are. You can also use crochet tablecloth, that's what I'm trying to say, or even any kind of curtain, sheer curtain. And here I'm cutting the ribbon again. The black one actually is like satin ribbon, and it came out really, really great. I'm very pleased. I am not attaching everything securely because I may change my mind and use the doily for something else. So I want to show you a few tricks, basically how to make it and think that you are going to reassemble it. So I grabbed felt and I'm going to make eyes and mouth. So same method like before, I'm kind of cutting out ovals, right? Like imagine the ghost is so surprised. Wah! However, I am not going to use decoupage this time. I just put it on the fabric. It's just blasted because the felt is artificial material, so kind of it stays there on its own. However, that's not the final touch. I'm just showing you. I'm going to use pins, and I will pin it down. So I have three pieces, the mouth is a little bit bigger, and I'm not using these pins, but pins that are metal, and they have very tiny heads. And then I basically pin it down. I kind of, either you can push it in, or you can pin it through, in and out, and make sure that you attach the bottom fabric as well. I guess it is common sense that you wouldn't let kids play with it, right? So that's it. That's my favorite ghost. I'm very proud of it. It really cheers me up every time I walk by. And I love it. I think it's easy project and you can have tons of fun with it. So I hope you enjoy these instructions and maybe it gave you some ideas. If you want to learn more about me, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you for watching HannahMade.